Want me to go first or that one? Oh. Want to go to that one?
Can you hear me, Chris? Okay. All right, John, we're here covering the 2017 Yates Street Tap House Baseball Canada Men's National Championships.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
The host Victoria Mavericks starting off tonight, getting their first action of the tournament in the feature game.
And it will be good to see the Victoria team. Sorry, did you say that's good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
right, Ali. I just gotta let the sprinkler guys go past here. They're doing a very thorough job.
Oh, they're down there. Apparently, Ken, this is your cameo. Score, just leave here. You're out of here.
Look at the lineup for today's game. First of all, the visiting team, New Brunswick. Leading off the cup, number 13, in left field, number 94. And the third first base, number 9, and third base, number 44. And in fifth and center field, number 10. Chris Keating. And 8th designated number 15, Sergio Torres. And in right field, number 19, Jay Johnson. Starting pitcher, number 21, Shane Kramer. Please welcome out your home team, the Victoria Mavericks.
Good evening and welcome back to Royal Athletic Park for the feature game of Day 1 of Baseball Canada Men's Nationals. Tonight it's the host Victoria Mavericks and New Brunswick in the feature 7 o'clock game here at Royal Athletic Park on Go Live Broadcast. Jonathan Hodson back with you with my partner tonight, Mike Edwards. Mike, great to be here tonight.
Yeah, thanks, John. It's good to be here for sure. It's been a great day of baseball so far. We've had some exciting games, some real good pitching today we've seen out there on the diamond, and looking forward to a good nightcap here tonight.
A star-studded Victoria Mavericks squad, an all-star squad put together as the host team. They received an automatic bid with Nationals being in Victoria the next 2 years. Their first game of the day facing New Brunswick. New Brunswick is 1-0. They beat Manitoba earlier today, 16-4. The lineup for New Brunswick, while we have a moment before the top of the first inning. Leading off, the shortstop, Blake Gallagher. Batting second, the left fielder, Dave Barr. Third is the first baseman, Mike Washburn. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Mark Phillips. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Rory Wood. Sixth is the catcher, Jeff Watkin. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Chris Keating. Eighth is the DH, Serge Batur. And batting ninth, the right fielder, Jay Johnson. Starting pitcher you will see in the bottom of the first inning is Shane Kramer. But leading off the top of the first inning is Blake Gallagher against starting right-hander Aiden Goodall for the Mavericks. They are the home team in this game, wearing the white with red and black caps. New Brunswick in the black with blue and white pants. Aiden Goodall stands atop the mound and delivers strike one to begin the ball game at 7:01. Aiden Goodall out of UBC, heading into his senior year, just missing one ball and one strike. Blake Gallagher, the shortstop. 1-2-3, Gallagher, Barr, and Washburn in the inning. Missing for ball two.
And John, we talked about the story of the day so far being some dominant starting pitching, a lot of arms going deep into the 7-inning games, and Aiden Goodall will be looking to continue that here.
2-1, tapped foul, 2-2. We've already seen a couple of 10 strikeout games today at the main field. And with every game at Nationals being 7 innings, teams are really banking on their starters to go deep, and all 7 if possible. That is definitely Aiden Goodall's assignment tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
John, absolutely. That's what the managers want from their starting pitchers, especially with so many games to be played in the 4-day tournament and some provinces with limited pitching staffs. It does put pressure on those starters to go deep, but Goodall off to a good start with the strikeout.
In steps Dave Barr. We'll set the defense for you in a moment. First pitch is strike one on left fielder Dave Barr. The defense for the Victoria Mavericks, Connor Moten catches Aiden Goodall tonight. The defense third to first, Duncan Blades, Griffin Anderchuk, Lenny Burrows, and Kyle Orr. And the outfield left to right, Bobby Scott, Liam Goodall, and Kevin Byro. 1 ball and 1 strike on Dave Barr. Fouled over the right side, a ball and 2 strikes. This Victoria team heavy on collegiate talent. Several who are still in college and several recently completing their college careers. 1-2. Fouled back. The headliner on this Victoria team and possibly in the tournament is Griffin Andrechuk. Played 3 years with the Victoria Harbour Cats and graduated from Seattle University this June. 1-2. Fouled back. Good battle put on here by Dave Barr, hitting with 1 out in the top of the first inning. Just underway, Victoria and New Brunswick.
And John, as you mentioned, a number of familiar faces headlining this Mavericks team. As you put it, it is more of an all-star team for this tournament.
1-2 breaking pitch called strike 3. Goodall wins the battle with Dave Barr and has back-to-back strikeouts to start the night.
A nice breaking pitch there from Goodall, dropping it in on Barr, who was caught looking. Two outs, 2 strikeouts for Goodall to start his night.
With 2 outs, it will be Mike Washburn, the first baseman, left-handed hitter. First pitch is low, ball 1. Washburn stands 6'3", 215 pounds. Now Connor Moten is out to hand the ball off to Goodall. Reminder, every game at Royal Athletic Park in this tournament, 17 games are all here on Go Live broadcasts for $8.99 per game, or a tournament package of $89.99. 1-0 pitch, fouled back, 1-1. .85 on that last fastball from Aiden Goodall. One and 1. Fouled away over the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aiden Goodall throwing a lot of strikes in this top of the first inning. Has back-to-back strikeouts and is 1 good pitch away from a 1-2-3 top of the first. Looks into Moten and the pitch is lined to right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Mike Washburn singles on the 1-2 pitch to keep the inning alive.
Nice piece of hitting there from Washburn. Good 2-strike approach and use the middle of the field to get aboard. So it won't be the 1-2-3 first for Goodall. But again, as you mentioned, Goodall did a nice job getting ahead. Just couldn't finish off Washburn that time.
Mark Phillips stands in, the third baseman for New Brunswick. First pitch is called strike 1.
And Phillips, John, that first game for Fredericton, or the Fredericton Royals representing New Brunswick today at Lambrick Park, he was 2 for 5 with an RBI and 3 runs scored, so heavily involved.
Fouled back 0-2. Provinces have a choice whether to send a club champion or an all-star team. The Fredericton Royals club champion out of New Brunswick facing the Mavericks League all-star team. 0-2, ground ball, second base, gloved and thrown by Burrows. That will do it for the top of the first inning. A 2-out single, but that's all. We go to the bottom of the first. No score between the Victoria Mavericks and New Brunswick here at Nationals on Go Live broadcasts.
You got him, Tam?
Bottom of the first inning and no score. The Victoria Mavericks host team in this men's national championship getting their first look at Shane Kramer. The starting left-hander for New Brunswick deals ball one to Griffin Andrechuk. The shortstop leads off this bottom of the first. We will go through the lineup 1 through 9 after the Andrechuk at bat. Kramer delivers up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Jonathan Hodson and Mike Edwards with you for this feature game. 4th game of the day at Royal Athletic Park. 2-0 to Andrechuk is ball 3. Andrechuk graduated from Seattle University this June, played 4 years, and set the program's hits record. 3-0 is a called strike, 3-1. New Brunswick went scoreless in the top of the inning with just a 2-out single. 3-1 is hit hard to short. 1 hop behind the bag. Glove throw is in time. Nice play by the shortstop, Blake Gallagher, ranging into center field to make the play.
That was a nice play by Gallagher on a hard liner up the middle. A good piece of hitting from Andrechuk, but Gallagher showing off his range and was able to convert the out to get Shane Kramer that first out here early.
Here is Duncan Blades, the lineup tonight for Victoria. Andrechuk, then the third baseman Duncan Blades, as he pops up and out of play. Batting third, the center fielder Liam Goodall. Fourth is the first baseman Kyle Orr. Batting fifth, the left fielder Bobby Scott. Batting sixth, the right fielder Kevin Byro. Batting seventh, the DH Ryan Murphy. Batting eighth, the second baseman Lanny Burrows. And batting nine, the catcher Connor Moten. It's an 0-2 count now on Duncan Blades, the third baseman for the Mavericks. No score, bottom of the first. 0-2, ground ball, 1 long hop to third base. Step and throw, 2 out. Mark Phillips on the play at third base.
So a solid start to the evening for Shane Kramer after falling behind 3-1 on Andrechuk. Was able to get some help from his shortstop Gallagher to retire Andrechuk, and then another quick ground ball out. And Kramer is familiar a little bit with Royal Athletic Park, having played with the Kelowna Falcons in the West Coast League.
This is Liam Goodall, the center fielder. Swing and a miss. Kramer and Victoria right fielder Kevin Byro were teammates on the 2013 Kelowna Falcons. 1-1 pitch is hit hard to left, through for a base hit. Liam Goodall singles to left, so Victoria able to grab a 2-out single as well to extend their inning. And in steps Kyle Orr. Kyle Orr, the first baseman. Big left-handed bat. Orr stands 6'6", 225 pounds.
And another popular name on this Victoria roster. Back in 2006, Orr was a 4th-round pick of the LA Dodgers and played 4 seasons of professional ball. Now at 28 years of age.
He swung and missed at the first offering from Shane Kramer. This Mavericks team is headed up by veteran Nationals skipper Dave Diachuk, and on his staff is His staff is including Troy Burtwhistle, assistant coach of the Victoria Harbor Cats. Swing and a miss, 0-2. We play scoreless in the bottom of the first. Victoria and New Brunswick, and now the catcher out to talk to Aiden Goodall. Will set the defense very quickly here. Goodall is dealing to his catcher, Jeff Watkin. The defense, third to first, Phillips, Gallagher, Keating, and Washburn. And the outfield, left to right, Barr, Wood, and Johnson. Runner at first is Liam Goodall, 2 outs, and it's 0-2 on Kyle Orr. Ground ball, second base, Keating scoops and throws. That'll do it for the first inning. Both teams with a hit, but nothing more. We go to the second, scoreless between Victoria and New Brunswick at Nationals on Go Live broadcast.
Please visit bluejays.com and BlueJays Live. The tournament committee for the 2017 Baseball Canada Men's Championship. Title partner, 8th Street Tap House, presented by BC Laundries Corporation. I'd like to thank the rest of the sponsors for the tournament. Peter Optometric Clinic, Black Press Newspaper Group, Emery Electric, Scrubby Easy Laundromat, Wilson's Transportation, the official transportation company of the tournament, Save-On Foods, Christian J. Stewart Photography, Crescendo Hair and Water, Floyd Kleiner, Collins Apparel, Victoria Mobile Radio, Crispy Fish and Chips, Tesseract Computers, 50 Foods, Jackson's Ice Cream, Spinnakers, Passion Sports, Accident Inn and Hope Hotel, and Pacific Western Brewery. The BC Laundries is proud to present this tournament. The title partner is the 8th Street Tap House.
Scoreless into the second inning between Victoria and New Brunswick. Feature game of day one of the Baseball Canada Men's National Championship here on Go Live broadcasts. First pitch of the second inning is popped up by Corey Wood. Back of second base for the out is Lenny Burrows. 1 pitch, 1 out for Aiden Goodall.
Good start to the second inning for Goodall after a quick first inning as well. Gave up the 2-out base hit, but nothing more in that first inning. And now a quick 1 pitch out here to start the second. Good sign for the Mavericks.
That will bring in the catcher, Jeff Watkin. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for New Brunswick in the second. First pitch is strike one to Watkin. Watkin, 23 years old, out of Miramichi, New Brunswick.
Yeah, he's invisible.
1-0 pitch is a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Four games at the main field today, 4 games at the main field tomorrow. Same schedule. 1-1 pitch is hit in the air. Popped up right side. Kyle Orr off the bag. Now Lenny Burrows can't make the play at second base. And at first base with the single will be Jeff Watkin.
And I think that one might be the victim of a team that hasn't been playing together all that long. It looked like Orr from first base was the first one who had a beat on it, but he ended up giving way to Lenny Burrows, and by that time I think it was too late for Burrows to get underneath it. That one was a high pop-up that was dropping quickly, and Burrows just couldn't read it in time.
That ball was not physically touched by a defender, so should go as a single, although they have flashed error on the scoreboard initially. First pitch to Chris Keating is ball 1. So either way, New Brunswick has a 1-out base runner here in the second. Fouled back, getting a big piece out of the catcher, Connor Moten. It's been a beautiful day all day long, and we've been here since 9 a.m. this morning. Clear and sunny for all 4 games, and for this night game, the shadows will start to creep in from the left field side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner goes, fouled back though. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The games at RAP tomorrow again will be 9, 12, 3, and 7. All here on Go Live broadcasts. One, 2. Is strike 3 called. Strikeout number 3 for Aiden Goodall. And there's 2 down in the second.
That's a pretty big change in the inning on those last 2 pitches, with Keating spoiling off the pitch before that one and not allowing the stolen base attempt for Watkin. And Watkin got a pretty good jump on that pitch as well. And then on the very next pitch, he strikes out looking. So instead of a runner in scoring position and 1 out, the runner stays at first with 2 outs.
Serge Vitor, the DH, will hit with 2 outs. First pitch from Goodall, fouled back. New Brunswick with an aggressive approach tonight against Aiden Goodall. Lots of early swings. But that makes sense, seeing as Aiden Goodall was throwing all strikes and struck out his first 2 batters. Set for 0-1. Inside. Getting an early lead has been critical in all 3 of the games at RAP today. And teams have not been afraid to be aggressive on the base paths to make it happen. Called strike. Goodall works ahead again on Vitor.
Yeah, John, the only game today where the team that scored first that didn't win was the Ontario-Alberta game, when the Tecumseh Thunder struck first in the first inning, but then were shut out the rest of the way by the Red Deer Riggers.
2-2 the count now on Serge Vitor. Watkin at first base with his single. Actually, we're going to change that to an E4, as that's what's on the scoreboard. Throw over to first base to check on a Watkin. We play in the top of the second, no score. Victoria and New Brunswick. Tournament opener for Victoria. Second game for New Brunswick. Ground ball, 1 hop to Orr at first base. He steps on the bag, and that will do it. A scoreless inning in the second for Goodall. We go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Victoria and New Brunswick at Men's Nationals on Go Live broadcasts.
First of all, baseball participants. Outfit Sanders, welcome from Victoria, the leading score on the back of baseball. The Steve Tang, the coaches in the 2017-18 Conference Baseball Championship of Green Hawthorne and Area 5. The competition's chair is Kelly Curtis. The financial director is Trish King. The umpire is Wayne Rivers, Rick Benson, the official scorer being this second. The volunteer director is Jack King. Facility directors Ken Paul, meeting grounds for your Park, and Grady Garner, the team. Harborcats members, Madwards, media broadcast and social media headed by ICL, Jonathan Hudson, and editor Gene Mills. And technically to be taken care of by Darlene Cockrell and Wally Andrew. The 50-50 plan is going towards the Victoria Harborcats Foundation and to the students as they will be very shortly find the sign or get tickets to support the Victoria Harborcats Foundation. We now return out number 33, left fielder, Bobby Scott.
Victoria back to the plate in the bottom of the second, still scoreless with New Brunswick. One hit apiece. As we go to the bottom of the second, Bobby Scott swings and misses. Jonathan Hudson and Mike Edwards with you for the feature game of day one of Nationals. 0-1. Called strike 0-2.
Harborcats with 5, 6, and 7 coming up here in the home half of the second, and we're still waiting to see who will blink first in the feature game of day one.
That bounces away for ball one. First time that's happened today. The Harborcats slip, of course, Go Live broadcast provider of the Victoria Harborcats in the early part of the summer.
Excuse me, John. I should say the Mavericks and Team New Brunswick, the Fredericton Royals.
It was bound to happen once this week. Missing inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Scott, Kevin Byro. Will be the first 2, and then Sean Murphy will hit third. Just missing. Count runs full on a pretty good pitch there from Chris Keating. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Keating wins the battle with Scott for his first strikeout of the night.
Nice pitch there by Keating to win the battle. An 81-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and swinging right through it was Bobby Scott for the first out.
That will bring in Kevin Byro. These two, both spending a summer of their collegiate careers with the Kelowna Falcons. Kevin Byro playing right field tonight. First pitch popped up right side, back of first base, foul ground, right field. Play is made by Washburn. And that's a quick second out.
That's another thing, John, that we've seen today in the 4 games is we've seen some nice plays made in foul territory, especially down that right field line. That one there made by Washburn was relatively routine, but we saw a couple diving plays made in that right field corner near the bullpen.
Still a good play going back from the infield, potentially looking into the sun. 2 quick outs for Sean Murphy, the DH.
It's difficult with the shadows there as well. At times you might be running and looking into the sun, and you might have protection from the sun from those shadows, which are a little inconsistent down that first base line.
1-0 pitch is ball 2. Kramer looks into his catcher, Watkin, and the 2-0 pitch is ball 3. Kramer falls behind Sean Murphy. The second baseman, Lenny Burrows, on deck, hoping for a chance. Rocked and fired. Strike 1. Only base runner for Victoria early on is the 2-out single back in the first inning. 3-1 pitch is up and away, ball 4. First walk allowed by Kramer.
Good at bat by Murphy that time to work the walk, and the Harbor Cats have another 2-out base runner. But other than that, you mentioned, John, the 2-out hit by Liam Goodall back in the first inning. The Harbor Cats haven't had much doing offensively.
Lenny Burrows, the Mavericks' second baseman.
John, I did it again. The Harbor Cats are not playing in this game. The Victoria Mavericks are, though.
Lenny Burrows fouls it back, 0-1. Lights just now turning on at 7:30 local time. This game's scheduled for 7 innings again, so hopefully it won't go too deep into the night. Swing and miss, 0-2 on Burrows. A 2-out walk is on base for the Mavericks. And a scoreless game in the bottom of the second.
Kramer in this at-bat once again getting ahead. And it's a simple recipe, but it does lead to success on the mound.
Throw to first base, caught him leaning, but he's saved.
Close play.
Sean Murphy was caught leaning the wrong way, but he's still able to get back.
That sure was a close play at first. Murphy was slow reacting to the pickoff move as well, but was able to get back in safely.
Still 0-2 on Burrows. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lenny Burrows, the veteran leader, if you will, of the Victoria Mavericks. Actually, the league president of the Mavericks Men's League here in Victoria. One, 2. Fly ball right center field, has something on it. Back in right center, that might split a gap. It does. It one hops the wall in right center. Sent all the way around is Murphy. The throw is to the middle of the infield. RBI double, Lenny Burrows. Mavericks lead 1-0.
And Burrows doing a real nice job stroking that one the other way, splitting the gap perfectly in right center. And Murphy scored without a play at the plate all the way from first base.
That's an impressive swing from Lenny Burrows. One hopping the wall the other way in right center. And equally noteworthy is Sean Murphy scoring all the way from first base. So the catcher, Connor Moten, will get an at-bat here in the bottom of the second. The Victoria Mavericks leading 1-0. First pitch is strike 1.
And the throw on that play came into second base. It would have been interesting to see had the throw gone home, whether it would have been a close play at the plate, but Murphy did a nice job chugging around the base paths to score.
0-1. Fouled off himself by Moten. Quickly 0-2. Shane Kramer trying to put an end to this second. A little 2-out rally has produced a run for Victoria. Strikeout and a pop-out began the inning, but a 2-out walk comes around to score. One, 2 on Moten. Is lined to center field, dying quickly. Diving play is made in center by Corey Wood. Hang a star on that play. Corey Wood diving in to rob Connor Moten. That'll end the second. Victoria gets 1 on the RBI double by Lenny Burrows. Mike is on deck to bring you the middle innings. We'll go to the third. 1-0 Victoria at Nationals on Go Live Broadcast.
fielder number 19, Jake Johnson.
Back here at Royal Athletic Park, Mike Edwards and Jonathan Hodgson on the call for the feature game of day one. It's been a great day to start the 2017 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. Showing bunt is Jay Johnson, and that's a good bunt. It'll work as Johnson reaches, eating up the third baseman for Victoria.
That was a tough play there for Duncan Blades, though. Had to barehand that bunt and tried to barehand it and deflected off his hand. So Johnson is credited with the single on that bunt.
And good news for the Fredericton Royals representing New Brunswick. They have a leadoff base runner against Aiden Goodall. Goodall has retired the first two hitters of each of his first two innings. Showing bunt once again. Goodall will field this one. He throws to first, and it's just in time. So New Brunswick is playing some small ball and forcing the infielders for Victoria to play some defense. That one did its job and advanced the runner to second base. But at least for Goodall, able to record an out.
New Brunswick down by a run with Aiden Goodall throwing a lot of strikes. They get a leadoff runner. They want to maximize their chances, try to get that tying run across.
So here is Dave Barr. He's 0 for 1, swinging away at the first pitch and fouling it off the right side. Barr, a strikeout victim his first time up, as Goodall struck out the first two batters of the ball game. He has 3 in total through 2 1/3. No balls and 1 strike. This one up the middle and down for a base hit. Being waved around third is the lead runner. He will score, and this game is tied. Mike Washburn comes through with an RBI single. Or I should say Dave Barr comes through. Washburn just now coming to the plate. But it was Barr with the single that scores Jay Johnson, and we are tied at 1 here at Royal Athletic Park.
That's a great response there for New Brunswick. Trailing by a run after Victoria picks up the go-ahead run in the bottom of the second and not wasting any time leveling the game in the top of the third.
Swinging away at the first pitch again is Washburn. And that's fouled down the first base side. John, you picked up on it in the second inning, but it's continued here in the top of the third that these Royals hitters sure have been aggressive early in the count.
You take too much against Aiden Goodall the way he's throwing tonight, you're probably going to find yourself behind 0-2, 1-2 a lot. So New Brunswick just trying not to let it get to that point and being aggressive, and it's working out for them here in the third.
1 ball and 1 strike the count on Washburn. This one is hit well to center field. Ranging back is Goodall, and he dives, can't come up with it. Goodall getting it back in, and the runner is going to come home, and it is 2-1 for New Brunswick, as scoring all the way from first was Barr on the extra base hit by Mike Washburn. So New Brunswick has gotten to Goodall here in the third inning for 2 runs, just the 1 out recorded, and they have taken a 2-1 lead.
That ball got over the head of Liam Goodall in right center field. He dove, couldn't come up with it, and it looked like Dave Barr was in between whether he was going to come to the plate or stop at third. He ended up turning on the afterburners again and coming to the plate, and had that ball been rushed in a little bit more, there may have been a play at the plate, but he scores all the way from first base.
So here is Mark Phillips, the third baseman. Another runner in scoring position, that being Mike Washburn at second base, with still 1 out here in the top of the third. 2-1 New Brunswick leads the host Victoria. And the 0-1 pitch misses high for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now 2 runs on 4 hits for New Brunswick.
Here's the 1-1 offering. That one in the dirt and outside. Good block by Mountain to keep it in front. 2 balls and a strike. And so on the flip side for Goodall, with the aggressive approach early in the count by these Fredericton Royals hitters, Goodall has to adjust to that and perhaps not come in so early in the count. 2-1. That one missing in tight. 3 balls and a strike.
Corey Wood waits on deck. Wood, an accomplished collegiate player.
The 3-1 pitch is upcoming from Goodall. That one well outside, and that will be a walk for Mark Phillips to put runners on first and second with 1 out.
That's the first walk issued by Aiden Goodall. So some rare patience displayed by Mark Phillips there. In steps Corey Wood. These Fredericton Royals, representing New Brunswick, are the 12-time provincial champions in New Brunswick. They've won gold once and bronze 5 times at nationals.
And that was the first walk for Goodall this evening. His command had been very good up until that point, but looking a little erratic here as that one missing well high and away.
And we see action going to start up in the bullpen for the Mavericks here momentarily. That is not a common sight at this level to see the bullpen active in the 3rd.
That one was well inside. So Goodall missing on both sides of the plate here to start this at bat. And we'll have a quick meeting on the mound with second baseman Lanny Burrows coming in to have a word with Goodall. Try to settle him back down. Two balls and no strikes the count. And the pitch. This one is popped up. Shallow center field. It'll be the shortstop Andrzejczyk underneath it, and he puts it away for out number 2. So a good response there by Goodall to get the soft contact pop up, and is just 1 out away of getting out of this 3rd inning, allowing just the 2 runs.
Has to deal with Jeff Watkin though. Watkins already collected a hit today.
And here's the first pitch to Watkin. Swinging away and fouling it back over the screen. 0-1. Mike Washburn stands on second. Mark Phillips on first with 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. A 2-1 lead for New Brunswick over the hosts Victoria Mavericks. No balls and a strike. Holding up on the swing was Watkin, and it was down and away for ball 1. Chris Keating stands in the on-deck circle, and he will hit next should Watkin reach. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Goodall. This one lined through the hole and down for a base hit, booted by the left fielder, and in to score is Washburn. It's 3-1. Bobby Scott had a little trouble with it in left field. I don't think it would have mattered, as that one probably would have scored the runner anyway had it been fielded cleanly. But it's another run for New Brunswick here in this 3rd inning. They now lead 3-1 with still 2 men on and 2 out.
Duncan Blades nearly came up with that ball, but it just got off the top of the glove, and as you mentioned, Scott bobbled it for a moment, but it didn't look like that changed the play at all.
Chris Keating looks at a strike on the first pitch. He was a strikeout victim his first time out. Keating looking to extend the inning and keep the 2-out rally going for New Brunswick. Here's the 0-1. This one is popped up too short. Andrechuk underneath it, and that's the inning. But the Fredericton Royals, representing New Brunswick, score 3 off of Aiden Goodall and take a 3-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the third.
Big thanks to Ross from Sigmund Foods and providing some of the work for the Authorities Tournament Committee. It's Ross from Sigmund Foods. We thank you very much.
Back here in Victoria for the bottom of the third, and Shane Kramer is back out there on the mound for New Brunswick, but now has a 3-1 lead to work with as the Harvard Cats will send the top of the order to the plate with Griffin Andrechuk.
Mike, we're gonna have to get a swear jar up here on the desk.
Let's try that again, John. The Victoria Mavericks will send Griffin Andrechuk to the plate, although, in my defense, Andrechuk was a Harvard Cat for 3 years. But we will have to get that jar going, won't we? Two balls and no strikes, the count on Andrechuk. Again, the Mavericks trailing 3-1 here in the bottom of the third of this 7-inning game. Foul tip to the screen by Andrechuk. It's 2-1.
Andrechuk played 3 years of his summer collegiate ball in Victoria. Played part of his summer in Kelowna with Kevin Byro. All-time hits leader at Seattle University NCAA Division I.
2-1. And that one is popped foul into the seats. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kramer looking for a quick third inning to get his Fredericton Royals back in the dugout after taking a 3-1 lead. Harvard Cat
Victoria took the 1-0 lead. New Brunswick came back with 3, and we'll see if Victoria now has the answer.
This one is grounded weakly to third. Phillips, low throw is dug out. Nice play at first base by Washburn to dig out the throw from Mark Phillips. And there's quickly one down for Kramer and Team New Brunswick.
Definitely a nice pick at first base by Washburn to save the throwing error. Duncan Blade steps in 0 for 1.
Blade's taking a first pitch strike. Base is empty with 1 away. Number 3 hitter Liam Goodall waits in the on-deck circle. And Blades takes strike 2. One ball and 1 strike the count on Duncan Blades. And that one is foul tipped. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. And the Mavericks don't want to leave this deficit too late. They'd be well advised to try to chip away at it right away.
This game hasn't been as free-flowing as the first 3 games today. No 1-2-3 innings on either side. Good offensive approaches.
And Blades looks at strike 3 called. So this is exactly what the doctor ordered for New Brunswick, as Shane Kramer has registered 2 quick outs.
One of the best things you can do is after your offense gets to a lead, throw up a quick scoreless frame.
And Kramer is 1 out away from doing that here. Goodall gets underneath this one to left center field. Drifting over as the center fielder would, and he will retire the side. So a 1-2-3 frame for Shane Kramer, and we are through 3 in Victoria. Team New Brunswick leads the Victoria Mavericks 3-1 on Go Live broadcasts.
Such as the World Baseball Classic provide exposure for Canada's top professional players while generating invaluable media coverage and associated revenue for well-governed program initiatives such as the Winter Ball Program and the World Baseball Canada Championships. Presenting
Serge Vautour will lead off the top half of the 4th inning for New Brunswick, who lead Victoria 3-1. And we are quickly moving through this one, a 7-inning game. And that 3-1 lead, a good start to the evening for the Fredericton Royals, representing New Brunswick. And Vautour swings through that first pitch for strike 1.
We'll see if Victoria's starter Aiden Goodall can hit the reset button here in the 4th inning.
1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Was very good in the first 2, scoreless on 2 hits. Lots of strikes, but was hit for 3 runs on 4 hits last inning.
That one was fouled back to the backstop by Vautour. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the Fredericton Royals will send up 8-9-1 to the plate here in the 4th inning. Vautour 0 for 1 in his previous plate appearance. 1-2. Another ball that Vautour just got a piece of to stay alive.
Important for Goodall to keep this game right where it is. Keep Victoria within striking distance.
Another 1-2 pitch. This one is hit well to center. Backpedaling a little bit is Liam Goodall, and he retires Vautour for out number 1.
The combo of Aiden and Liam Goodall up the middle for the Mavericks tonight. Aiden currently pitching at UBC, and Liam Goodall has already graduated from Embry-Riddle University in Florida. Liam began his collegiate career at VIU in Nanaimo.
And Aiden Goodall missing on the first pitch to the right fielder Jay Johnson, who is 1 for 1 with a run scored. And John, you have another note of interest on Johnson. As the 1-0 misses high, it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Quite the accomplished 9-hole hitter tonight for New Brunswick. Jay Johnson played 4 years of affiliated baseball in the Philadelphia Phillies organization and played for Canada at the 2013 World Baseball Classic as a left-handed pitcher, and he's playing right field tonight in the 9 spot for New Brunswick. I'd like to have that 9-hole hitter.
And Johnson's ahead 3-0. And that's a 4-pitch walk for Jay Johnson. So another base runner for New Brunswick. 1 on and 1 out as Aiden Goodall looks for a bounce back 4th inning after giving up 3 in the 3rd. He'll face the top of the order now with Blake Gallagher.
2 times through the order, Goodall has walked 2 to go along with the 3 runs on 5 hits. Just the 2 early strikeouts still.
That one foul tipped off the catcher Mountain. That looked like it hurt him a little bit, but he bounces back to his feet.
That's now 2 shots that Mountain has taken behind the plate that have looked to take a bit of sting out of him. Tools of ignorance, they say about catchers.
No balls and 1 strike the count. And a check on the runner at first base. That is Johnson back in safely.
Blake Gallagher, the shortstop, is 0 for 2 today.
And Goodall now ready to come home with the 0-1. This one lined to right field. Going back is Byro, and he hauls it in for the 2nd out. But another hard hit ball for New Brunswick, as they appear to be seeing the ball well out of the hand of Aiden Goodall.
New Brunswick, you could say they're hitterish today. 3 runs on 5 hits early in this game, and in game 1 this morning at Lambert Park, they put up 16 on us in a 6-inning win over Manitoba. Had 3 innings of 4 or more runs.
Dave Barr now taking low on the first pitch. He's stepping in with a runner on first and 2 down. Barr got that rally started in the 3rd inning. This one blocked by Mountain behind home plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Two 2-0. And missing high is Goodall. Now 3 balls and no strikes.
Goodall was throwing a lot of strikes in the first 2 innings. The last couple of innings has begun to falter just a little bit.
3-0 pitch right down Broadway for strike one. And taking all the way was Barr.
You'd like to get Barr here if you're Goodall with the 2-for-2 Mike Washburn on deck.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. This one is hit well to left field. It has a chance, and it is gone. A 2-run shot for Dave Barr, and the lead for New Brunswick balloons to 5-1. And that was some shot. It cleared the fence by quite a bit down that left field line.
On a 3-1 pitch, Dave Barr was looking fastball and he didn't miss it.
And this might be the day, it looks like it will be the day for Aiden Goodall, who will leave after surrendering 5 earned runs. And the Victoria Mavericks trail 5-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Pitching change for the Mavericks. We'll get you the details of the new pitcher on the other side when we come back. You're watching the 2017 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships on Go Live Broadcasts.
The other 50-50 tickets. Prize of $228 for the winner. The rest of the Victoria Park allocation. The number 029738. 029738. You can memorize it with the songs. 029738.
A pitching change for the Victoria Mavericks to tell you about. Brendan Orr is the new pitcher, and he will come in to face Mike Washburn and try to get the Mavericks out of this 4th inning. They trail Team New Brunswick by a score of 5-1 after that 2-run shot just a moment ago by Dave Barr.
New pitcher is right-hander Brendan Orr, 30 years old, 6'3", 205 pounds, out of Victoria.
And Orr is behind 2-0 to Washburn. There's a strike on the outer half. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count.
Aiden Goodall goes 3 2/3, allowing 5 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks with 3 strikeouts.
And the 2-1 is fouled back behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Bases are clear after that 2-run home run.
First home run we've seen at RAP in the tournament.
2-2 pitch is grounded slowly to second. Burrows throws to first, and that's the inning. But 2 more added on by New Brunswick. They now lead 5-1 on Go Live Broadcasts.
Baseballs have a full green cap leather cover, special glaze seeds, and all new lines. Rawlings is also the official bag. We all hang it out at Baseball Canada's national teams. Leading off the Victoria Mavericks. First base number 23, Kyle Orr.
Home half of the fourth inning at Royal Athletic Park, but the home team, the Victoria Mavericks, trail 5-1 in this 7-inning ball game. So work to do as Kyle Orr looks at a first pitch strike. Shane Kramer still out there, looking strong through 3 innings of work. Orr, a slow roller to first. This one is flipped to the pitcher covering, and they got him. Kramer beat Orr to the bag. That one looked like it might have had a chance to be an infield hit, but good effort by Kramer scrambling off the mound to cover the bag and completely out.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes? Good job by Kramer to get over and field that flip for out number 1.
And another quick first out for Kramer here in the inning. It'll be Bobby Scott to hit now, and he looks at ball 1. Scott struck out his first time up. Harbor Cats just now going through the second time through the order. The Mavericks, I should say. And Scott fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away.
Bobby Scott struck out back in the second against Shane Kramer.
And the 1-1 offering from Kramer is on the way. Another foul out of play, and it's 1-2.
We've seen a couple of teams today build healthy leads and then take it relatively easily the rest of the way. That's what Victoria is trying to avoid here.
And the 1-2 pitch drops in for strike 3. Shane Kramer fools Bobby Scott with a breaking ball dropping in for a called third strike. And quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
Shane Kramer played collegiately at South Dakota State, an NCAA Division I program. Has 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Now with the 5-1 lead, has a chance to really settle in and try to take this one to the finish line for New Brunswick. So they're looking to go 2-0. Going 2-0 in your first day of a 4-game round-robin first round, that goes a long way to getting you to quarters.
It sure does, and would be 2 pretty convincing wins for New Brunswick after scoring 16 runs in 6 innings earlier today at Lambert Park, and now they have 5 through the first 4 innings of this one. First pitch to Kevin Byro missed high and away. 1 ball and no strikes is the count. And there's a strike from Kramer. 1-1. This New Brunswick team, represented by the Fredericton Royals, has medaled 6 times at the Baseball Canada Men's National Championships, including in each of the last 2 where they won bronze. A hot shot to first and down the line, a fair ball. Byro will stop at first, but the Mavericks have a base runner here with 2 away. As Kevin Byro looking to get something going with 2 outs. And just to wrap up that thought on the Fredericton Royals Club, they won the tournament back in 1981, and that was a great year for baseball in the Maritimes, with New Brunswick taking gold, Nova Scotia silver, and Quebec bronze in that 1981 tournament. Here's Sean Murphy. He walked and scored in his first plate appearance, and he's ahead in the count 1-0. And Kramer will throw over to first. Back in safely is Kevin Byro.
Murphy walked and scored in the second inning. The only walk of the day so far on the line of Shane Kramer to go along with the 3 strikeouts.
One-0 pitch, missing for ball 2. Murphy would score all the way from first on the double to the right center field gap by Lanny Burrows. That's all in the run column for the Mavericks so far tonight. Here's the 2-0. This one popped up behind home plate, and that will get back out of play. No chance for Watkin to make a play on that one. Best crowd of the day is on hand here at Royal Athletic Park. Weren't too many fans in the seats for the first 3 games, which was understandable given the teams from far away playing, but the hosts have drawn a decent crowd for the nightcap. And another snap throw over, close play, but safe is Byro at first.
There's been a few hardy people who have been here through most of the day. We've been here since about 8 o'clock this morning, but each of these teams does bring their fans and their supporters and their sponsors that travel with them.
On the ground to short, and the short way is Gallagher gets the out to end the inning. It's still a 5-1 game in favor of New Brunswick as we head to the 5th on Go Live Broadcasts.
Camera 3 can do for battery change.
Top of the 5th underway as Brendan Orr is back out there after coming in relief of Aiden Goodall in the top half of the 4th inning. Right back to the mound off the glove of Orr. The second baseman Burrows makes the play for the first out as Phillips is retired.
Brendan Orr doing a good job out of the bullpen. 2 quick outs. He quickly retired Mike Washburn to end the 4th and has a quick out here to start the 5th inning.
Orr trying to keep it as close as possible. It's a 5-1 lead for New Brunswick over the Victoria Mavericks. And the Mavericks are starting to run out of opportunities to try to come back in this game, but a clean inning here would help their cause. That one is bounced foul down the first base side by Corey Wood. Wood is 0 for 2.
I think it would be a safe bet to say that Wood would like to turn around his offensive day, has popped out to second twice.
This one is into center field, ranging over is Goodall, and Liam Goodall makes the catch. So that will make it an 0 for 3 day for Wood, although he was 3 for 3 in the first game with 4 RBIs over at Lambrick Park. So he'd like to go back there to Lambrick. 3 for 3 there, now 0 for 3 here at Royal Athletic. And again, John, as you mentioned, a nice job here by Orr. 2 quick outs, and it'll bring in Jeff Watkin, who is 1 for 2. First pitch to Watkin, missing upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Base is empty with 2 away. And the 1-0 pitch, missing for ball 2. We've had a full day of sun here at Royal Athletic, but the lights now starting to take effect as darkness falls on the city of Victoria. Long day of baseball.
We were here to watch the sun rise. We're going to be here to watch the sun set. And guess what? We're going to do it for the next 4 days. At least 4 games a day at RAP through Sunday.
There's a strike by Orr. 3 balls and 1 strike on Jeff Watkin.
All Royal Athletic Park games on Go Live broadcasts, $8.99 per game.
That one was fouled hard towards the dugout area of the Fredericton Royals, representing the province of New Brunswick. That protective screen was there to save the day. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one bounced well before the plate, and it's a walk with 2 outs for Jeff Watkin.
That walk is the 3rd allowed to New Brunswick hitting, and the 1st allowed by Brendan Orr.
So that will bring in Chris Keating, who is also sporting an 0 for 2 so far. Runner on first and 2 away. Keating just gets a piece of that first offering from Brendan Orr. In the on-deck circle is Serge Vatour. He will hit should Keating reach with 2 outs. It's been a good day for New Brunswick, and they're looking to add on to give themselves some more insurance for the last couple innings of this one. 0-1 pitch is hit well, but that will go foul down the right field line.
Good swing from Keating, but just couldn't keep it straight.
A little out in front on that off-speed pitch, clocked at 71 on the radar gun. Nothing in 2. In there, strike 3 called. So Brendan Orr does a nice job, puts up a scoreless 5th, but now it's time for the Victoria Mavericks to chip away at this 4-run deficit. They'll try to do that when we come back on Go Live broadcasts.
on the Victoria Mavericks, number 19 is second baseman Lenny Burrows.
Bottom half of the fifth inning at Royal Athletic Park, the home team, the Victoria Mavericks, trail Team New Brunswick, represented by the Fredericton Royals by a score of 5-1. And Lanny Burrows will lead things off here in the fifth. And he looks at a strike. Shane Kramer still out there on the mound, and he's been very good. Through 4 innings, 1 earned run on 3 hits and a walk. And this one is sliced foul by Burrows. He's behind 0-2.
3 strikeouts on the line of Kramer so far. Lanny Burrows flexed the muscles for a double off the wall in right center last time. Drove in Sean Murphy.
In the dirt, 1-2. And Murphy on that play was chugging all the way around from first and came around to score. The Harbor Cats' only run so far. The Mavericks' only run, I should say. I'm adding it to the jar, John.
In the inning, 8-9-1, Burrows, Moten, and back up to Andrzejczyk.
One ball and 2 strikes, and time is called before the pitch.
Make a play. Good D now. Here we go.
Here's the 1-2. That one well outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Burrows will be followed by the catcher Moten, and then the top of the order for Griffin Andrzejczyk. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And a big swing there by Burrows. He came up empty, and another strikeout, the 4th on the night for Kramer, is out number 1.
So now, Victoria leadoff hitters tonight against Kramer are 0 for 5. And that goes a long way to setting up successful innings when you can get your leadoff man.
So here is Moten, but first a quick mound visit by the catcher Jeff Watkin. Mavericks, of course, as the hosts, do have a certain degree of pressure on them to succeed in this tournament, and they have brought in a number of guys who aren't normally on the team but are from Victoria and wanted to represent the host city.
Griffin Andrzejczyk, Liam Goodall comes in from Nanaimo. Aiden Goodall.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Kramer as Moten came up empty. 0-1.
The ex-LA Dodgers prospect Kyle Orr laces him up for this tournament.
Another swing and a miss by Moten, and he is quickly in the hole, 0-2. And Kramer has been showing off his good stuff here in this inning with a number of swinging strikes. 0-2 the count. And this time Moten does get a piece, but fouls it off. Still 0-2.
It's been relatively stress-free tonight for Shane Kramer. Has not allowed more than 1 hit in an inning. And has had 1-2-3 inning and just the 1 walk on his line. So not a lot of high-pressure situations.
Another 0-2 pitch missing high, 1-2. And that 1 run charged to Kramer came back in the second inning. Since then, he's been very good. And through 4 1/3 now, trying to qualify for the win. If he can get through this one. Pitch misses to Moten in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Bases are empty with 1 away.
Stamina still looks good here in the 5th inning. His last fastball registering 87 on the gun.
This one is popped foul, and that will get out of play into the seats. Still 2-2. Griffin Anderchuk, the leadoff hitter, waiting in the on-deck circle. Mavericks would love to bring the top of the order to the plate with someone on base.
In Connor Moten's first at-bat, he flew out on a spectacular catch going back by center fielder Corey Wood.
Another 2-2 offering from Shane Kramer. Just missing for ball 3. And Kramer dancing around out there as if to say that should have been strike 3, but rule the ball, and now he needs to rein it back in for a big 3-2 pitch.
Andreychuk waits on deck.
Here's the payoff. And that one missing by the slightest of margins once again, and it's a walk for Moten. And you have to wonder whether the reaction by Kramer to that 2-2 pitch missing was a factor in the decision of the home plate umpire to issue the walk on the 3-2 pitch that was close as well.
Well, adding to that, you saw after the 3-2 pitch, both Kramer and Watkin visibly wanted that pitch, and they both had to take a second to gather themselves. So now with a one-out runner on in front of Griffin Andreychuk, these two really have to bear down and set their sights on Andreychuk to not let this snowball.
Moten back in safely at first. Victoria will be looking for some spark that can rally them to erase this 4-run deficit. Here's the first pitch to Andreychuk. A breaking ball dropping in for strike 1.
Andreychuk has grounded out twice tonight. Another throw to first. I don't think the running game is going to be too much of a factor here with the Mavericks down by 4.
Tend to agree with you, John, with outs being very valuable for the for the Mavericks.
Need to string some base runners together. They certainly have the lineup to do that, although they've been held down to this point. Just 1 run on 3 hits. Shane Kramer has been in fine form.
No balls and 2 strikes on Andreychuk. That one low, and it's 1-2.
Duncan Blades, the third baseman, is on deck 0 for 2.
Only 3 hits in the game for the Mavericks. Liam Goodall with 1. Kevin Byro, and then the RBI double by Lanny Burrows. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the tag is applied by the catcher Watkins, so Andreychuk is sat down on strikes. And there are 2 down.
5 strikeouts now for Kramer. First time he has had 2 in an inning tonight.
So that'll bring in Duncan Blades. Blades, as you mentioned, 0 for 2. The runner on first base is the catcher Connor Moten. Blades swinging away at the first pitch and lines one into center field for a base hit. Moving up to second is Moten, so the Mavericks have a pair of runners on base. And it'll be Liam Goodall to hit now.
Just the second time tonight that Victoria has had multiple base runners in an inning. And now the dangerous bat of Liam Goodall.
And the tying run is now in the on-deck circle, represented by Kyle Orr. But the Mavericks don't need to think about getting them all back at once. Just need to chip away. A base hit would give Connor Moten a chance to score from second. First pitch to Goodall is in for strike 1.
Goodall 1 for 2, singled in the first inning. 3 4-hitters, or actually you extend that. You go 3 through 5 hitters tonight for Victoria, are 1 for 6.
Grounded through the hole between third and short. Stopping at third is Mountain, and the bases are loaded. So that tying run will come to the plate in the form of Kyle Orr, here with 2 away in the 5th.
This is exactly where you would want to be if you were head coach Dave Diachek heading into this inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. If there's one guy you want at the plate in that spot in this lineup, it's Kyle Orr.
It is, and it's the first real sign of trouble for Shane Kramer since the second, when he gave up the only run of the ball game for Victoria. And this is a big spot in this ball game. Needless to say, with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch low for ball 1. And really, John, going back to what we were talking about earlier, this trouble seemed to start from that at-bat where the 2 close pitches were ruled balls by the home plate umpire. And ever since then, Shane Kramer has ran into a bit of trouble. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one through the wickets of the catcher, and going back to third is Mountain, so not far enough away from Watkin.
That was a strange reaction on the backstop on that wild pitch. Or that pass ball, however it's ruled. It appeared to almost stick against that backstop. It's a wood backstop here at REP, which is famous for giving wild kicks. So the runner at third base, Moten, did not come to score, thinking that it would be a wild kick. And then the runner at second, Duncan Blades, had moved up, but he was able to go back. So nobody hurt for New Brunswick at the end of the day, just a 2-0 count on Orr.
And the 2-0 delivery, swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. That one at 86 on the radar gun from Kramer.
There is a right-hander warming in the bullpen for New Brunswick.
And here's the 2-1 pitch. Another swing and a miss, and Orr comes up empty on consecutive pitches. It's now 2-2.
Big pitch in the baseball game right here.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, and Kyle Orr at the plate. And here's the delivery. And that one foul tipped off the catcher. Still 2-2. A good 2-strike swing that time by Kyle Orr. New Brunswick has a slight edge in the hit column, 6-5, but they have the 5-1 lead in the run column where it matters. Victoria Mavericks will be looking to close that here on 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Shane Kramer gets out of the jam unscathed, and New Brunswick takes a 5-1 lead into the 6th inning. Jonathan Hodgson will be back behind the mic for play-by-play duties for the rest of the way. It's 5-1 New Brunswick through 5 at Royal Athletic Park on Go Live Broadcasts.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. Feature game, Victoria and New Brunswick. 5-1 New Brunswick still leads after Shane Kramer leaves the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th is led off by Serge Vitour. Vitour up the middle into center field for a base hit.
And New Brunswick with one more chance to add on to this 4-run lead. And off to a good start here in the top of the 6th with the leadoff single.
It is still Brendan Orr on the mound for Victoria. He took over in the 4th inning. Missing inside ball 1 on Jay Johnson. Johnson has a hit, has been walked, and has scored 2 runs tonight. Missing for ball 2.
And the top of the order coming up after Johnson. So this becomes an important batter here for Orr to get.
Top of the order on deck. Don't want to put 2 runners on in front of them. Runner goes, pitch inside, no throw. So stealing second base with an aggressive head-first slide is Serge Vitour. He just about slid clear over the bag at second on that stolen base.
Well, you credit him for running hard, and he doesn't see that there's no throw coming.
3-0 to Johnson is inside ball 4. And with the base open and a 3-0 count on Johnson, not sure how much they wanted to mess around with him. Now back to the top of the order for Blake Gallagher. That walk is the 2nd allowed by Orr. The shortstop Blake Gallagher is 0 for 3 today. Long look at second. Bunt shown. Pulls back, but it hits him. And he'll be awarded first base. And they checked him first base, and no sir, he did not commit a swing. Did get the bunt back in time before it hit him. So the bases just like that will be loaded with nobody out for Dave Barr. And there'll be another mound visit here before the Barr at bat.
And we'll see if this is just a mound visit or if it's going to be a pitching change. It looks for now like it might just be a visit to calm down Brendan Orr. Bases loaded jam with nobody out.
New Brunswick in prime position to salt this game away, leading 5-1. They have the bases loaded, nobody out. Their 2-hitter left fielder Dave Barr at the plate, and all Barr has done today is go 2 for 3 with a single, a home run, and 3 RBIs.
And the infield will come in for the Mavericks.
Orr delivers, fly ball to right field. That has legs on it, back and right. That will go all the way to the wall. 1 will score, 2 will score. Relay throw is offline. All 3 will score. Throw on the backstop doesn't change anything. Bases clearing double for Dave Barr. Give him 6 RBIs and give New Brunswick an 8-1 lead.
And New Brunswick, just like that, breaks the game open. Barr with a 2-run home run earlier in this one, back in the 4th inning. And now a bases clearing double. And it brings them all home here in the 6th.
Mike Washburn, the first baseman, is working on a 2 for 3 day. He takes ball 1 in the dirt, kept in front and pushed to the left side by Moten. Still nobody out in the top of the 6th. New Brunswick has plated 3 to now lead 8-1.
And with these 8 runs, that brings the New Brunswick run total in the tournament up to 24 already.
Fly ball, center field, not deep. Waiting for it in center. Making the play is Goodall. The throw cleared through to third base on a hop, 1 out. And you can go back to the bottom of the 5th inning when the Mavericks left the bases loaded, and wouldn't you know, New Brunswick comes right back with a quick 3-spot. They had one last chance to get themselves back into the baseball game, did not take advantage, and New Brunswick has taken it the other way. Mark Phillips swings and singles into left field. Lead runner is held at third. That's Dave Barr. So the single puts runners at the corners with 1 out.
And Brendan Orr seemed to be effective when he came in to relieve the Mavericks starter Aiden Goodall, but just like Goodall, after a good start to his outing, the Fredericton Royals, representing New Brunswick, seem to have caught on to what he's featuring.
First pitch to Mark Phillips, ball 1. Phillips 0 for 2 with a walk. One-0. Is lined to the right side, through for a base hit. Coming in to score from third is Dave Barr. Stopping at second on the single is Washburn. Mark Phillips drives in the 9th run of the game for New Brunswick. They lead 9-1. Dave Barr has now scored 3 runs tonight.
So make that 25 runs in just 12 innings of baseball today for New Brunswick, and they're proving early in this tournament that this offense is a force to be reckoned with.
That is lined into the glove of Duncan Blades to throw to second, doubles up Mike Washburn. That will end the inning. How about that for Duncan Blades at third base, turning the double play and ending the inning. But New Brunswick scores 4 in the top of the 6th to now lead 9-1 into the bottom of the 6th in the future game of day 1 at Nationals on Go Live broadcasts.
We would like to thank the 8th Street Top House for being the title partner of the 2017 Baseball Canada Fifth Championship, presented by BC Lotteries Corporation. The 8th Street Top House on 8th Street between Blanchard and Douglas. New pitcher from New Brunswick is number 24, Sean Reed. Leading off for the Victoria Mavericks, the left fielder number 33, Bobby Scott.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 9-1 New Brunswick leads Victoria. The new pitcher for New Brunswick is Sean Reed, a right-hander out of Rusagonis, New Brunswick. Bobby Scott, Kevin Byro, and Sean Murphy are scheduled in the inning. Jonathan Hudson and Mike Edwards in for the feature game of day 1. Rocked and fired. 1-0 pitch is lined to third base. Fielded at third, thrown across for out number 1. Mark Phillips on the play at third base for New Brunswick. In steps Kevin Byro, 1-2. Victoria has been silenced for most of the night. 1 run on 5 hits allowed by Shane Kramer. He gives way to Reed here in the 6th inning. Missing for ball 1, Kramer goes 5 innings, allowing a run on 5 hits with a walk and 6 strikeouts. (1-0). Missing outside and low. New Brunswick doubling up Victoria in the hit department, 10-5. But the major difference has been the ability of New Brunswick to string them together. Missing for ball 3 to Byro. 3 runs on 4 hits in the 3rd for New Brunswick, and 4 runs on 4 hits in the 6th inning. 3-0. Taken for ball 4. First walk allowed by Reed.
Well, it's an 8-run deficit, and the Mavericks need to start somewhere, and the walk will do the trick. Base runners certainly are needed for the Mavericks, and it'll bring in Sean Murphy.
Sean Murphy, 0 for 1. Harbor Cats running out of time, trailing 9-1 with 5 outs to play with in this 7-inning game. They'll have a big day tomorrow ahead of them if they cannot pull out of this 8-run deficit. A doubleheader for the host team coming up tomorrow. 2-1 the count now on Sean Murphy. Teams that play once today play twice tomorrow, and the other way, teams that played 2 today play once tomorrow. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Byro aboard with a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 6th.
And for Victoria, it doesn't get any easier tomorrow. They'll play in the 12 p.m. game here at Royal Athletic Park against Ontario 1, who are the Tecumseh Thunder, the two-time reigning national champions.
Count runs full on Murphy. The Mavericks making Reed throw some pitches here in the bottom of the 6th. We have every Royal Athletic Park game on Go Live broadcasts. 4 more games coming up tomorrow. You can catch all 17 RAP games for $8.99 per game. Full count pitch to Murphy. Swung on, popped up, left side, shortstop. Making the play is Gallagher for out number 2.
And John, as you mentioned, 4 more games coming up tomorrow at Royal Athletic. The first one will feature Nova Scotia against British Columbia at 9 a.m. first pitch. Then, as I just mentioned, Victoria against Tecumseh, who are the representatives for Ontario 1. That at 12 p.m. At 3 p.m., we have British Columbia once again taking on Mississauga, who are Ontario 2. And then to wrap it up at 7, the feature game, these Victoria Mavericks will be hosting the Red Deer Riggers, Alberta 2.
First pitch is ball 1 on Lanny Burrows. The second baseman has driven in a run tonight on a double. Missing for ball 2 from Reed. Hit well down the right field line. That has carry on it to the track, but the play is made by Jay Johnson going towards the line in deep right field. That'll be all for Victoria in the bottom of the 6th. They go scoreless again. We go to the 7th final inning of regulation on day 1 of the Baseball Canada Men's National Championship here on Go Live Broadcast.
The organizing committee of the 2017 Baseball Canada Men's Championship, with the title sponsor 8th Street Team Clubs, presented by BC Lawyers Corporation, like to thank the following sponsors: Mayfair Optometric, Black Press Newspaper Group, Accident and Motel Z, Fashion Sports, Spinnakers, Jackson's Ice Cream, Thrifty Foods, Tesseract Computers, Christian J. Stewart Photography, Victoria Mobile Radio, Collins Lloyd Diner, Crucino, Save-On Foods, Wilson's Transportation, Scrubby's Wonderland, and Emery Electric, along with Pacific Western Brewing Company. Thank you for your support in making this tournament possible.
Top of the 7th, one more chance to add on to a 9-1 lead for New Brunswick. Kyle Orr back to the mound for Victoria, dealing ball 1 to Jeff Watkin. 6, 7, 8, Watkin, Keating, and Batur are scheduled here in the top of the 7th. Jonathan Hodson and Mike Edwards in for the feature game tonight. 2-0 pitch is high, 3-0.
And I think at this point, John, the Mavericks are just looking for some length out of Brendan Orr to try to save the remainder of their bullpen for their 2 games tomorrow.
That misses high for ball 4, so not a great start to the 7th on the 4-pitch walk. At this point, though, yes, you're just looking for for Brendan Orr to take it the rest of the way, avoid any further damage to the pitching staff, so it does not affect tomorrow's action. Chris Keating will step in, fouling it back.
And the bullpen is empty for the Mavericks down that right field line, so this is Brendan Orr's inning to finish.
Correction, Serge Batur is off by 1. 0-1 fouled over the left side. Quickly 0-2. Or is 0-2. He is lined to right field in for a base hit. Lead runner moves up to second base, and the wheels keep spinning for New Brunswick. First and second, nobody out in the 7th.
And we already had one game today enforce the run rule with the team Nova Scotia taking an 11-1 lead.
Shattered bat bounce on the mound. Second base Burrows applies the tag. Going to first, the throw is wild and will allow the run to score on a close play. And the trail runner going up to second base. So on that play, ground ball softly to Burrows. He applied the tag of Vitor, but his throw to first base was wild. So Keating comes around to score, and Jay Johnson ends up at second base at the end of the day. A 10-1 lead for New Brunswick. Johnson at second base, and the leadoff man Blake Gallagher at the plate.
And as I was saying, John, about that run rule, just one run away from enforcing that here with the 11th run in scoring position for New Brunswick.
Fouled away left side.
It was an 11-1 victory for Nova Scotia over Newfoundland in the first game of the day. Way back when? Was that today, John, at 9 a.m.? But it was the 10-run mercy rule enforced.
Fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. The day has seen 2 run rule games. New Brunswick won the other run rule game this morning, 16-4 over Manitoba. 0-2. Fouled back. 10 runs on 11 hits. So New Brunswick making the most of their opportunities. Popped up right side, back of second base. Burrows into right field will make the play for the first out. Two outs.
Scoreboard showing 1, but there was the first out applied on the tag on the lead end of that Burrows play that ended in the throwing error and the run scored. So 2 down. And Dave Barr at the plate. Missing at the feet. Runner up at second base. 2 outs. A run in the top of the 7th. New Brunswick has added to their lead, now leading 10-1. 1-0. Called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. Called strike 1-2. Brendan Orr 1 good pitch away from ending this top of the 7th. Dave Barr looking to add to a huge night. 3 hits and 6 RBIs. 1-2 pitch is popped up to shallow center field. Coming in center to make the play is Liam Goodall. That'll be all for the top of the 7th. New Brunswick adds 1 and will look to win a ball game when we go to the bottom half of the 7th. 10-1 New Brunswick over Victoria here at the feature game of Nationals on Go Live broadcast.
Reminder, the great place to go after the game tonight is the title sponsor of this tournament, Yates Street Townhouse, between Douglas and Hampshire. Yates Street Townhouse, the title partner of the 2017 Baseball and Men's Championship. Presented by PC Waters Corporation.
bottom of the 7th, 10-1 New Brunswick leading Victoria. Looking to put the finishing touches on an impressive 2-0 opening day. While the host team will have to regroup tomorrow. First pitch of the bottom of the 7th is strike 1 on the catcher, Connor Moten. Missing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Moten flew out on a great grab by center fielder Corey Wood back in the 2nd. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball softly hit, charging at short, throw on the run, strong throw, great play there by the shortstop Blake Gallagher for out number 1.
The shortstop, number 21, Griffin.
Double order for Griffin Andrechuk. Andrechuk is 0 for 3. Next action first of all, for us here on Go Live Broadcast tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., the same schedule. And the matchup in the morning game tomorrow on Go Live Broadcast, Nova Scotia and BC. 0-1 to Andrechuk. Grounded down the third base line, just foul as it crossed the bag. 0-2. For New Brunswick, they are next in action at Lambrick Park tomorrow at 6 o'clock against Tecumseh, who is Ontario 1. And for Victoria, they play at noon here at Royal Athletic Park on Go Live Broadcast against Tecumseh, Ontario, number 1. 0-2 pitch, ground ball, third base, ranging to his left. The throw is strong. Good play from Mark Phillips for out number 2.
So both of these two teams will be meeting Tecumseh tomorrow, and Ontario 1, the Tecumseh Thunder, will be desperate after they lost their first game of the tournament today to Alberta 2, who are the Red Deer Riggers. So those will be some big games tomorrow.
Strike 1 is dealt to Duncan Blades, 1 for 3. Victoria down to their last out in a 10-1 game. 0-1. Swung on, hit well, deep to left. That ball is over and out for Duncan Blades. A solo shot deep to left. Gets Victoria back on the board. It's 10-2. Second home run we've seen in this ball game after not seeing one in the first 3. 2 outs now for Liam Goodall.
Number 29, center fielder, Liam Goodall.
Goodall 2 for 3. First pitch is lined down the left field line, a fair ball, and will nestle in the corner, cut off and left. Goodall going for 2. The throw is cut off. A sharp double to left for Liam Goodall. Ball game continues for Kyle Orr. Victoria now up to 7 hits with the home run and the double with 2 outs here in the 7th. First pitch to Orr is hit well into right field. Dying quickly though, and will get down for a base hit. Coming in to score on the single is Goodall. Kyle Orr drives in Liam Goodall, and it's 10-3.
And the Mavericks starting to string some hits together. Still a 7-run deficit with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. But you never say never. You go back to earlier this season in the West Coast League, the Harbor Cats, and yes, I do mean the Harbor Cats this time, with a miraculous 9th inning comeback when they were down 12-4 They came back and tied the game at 12 and then would go on to win 14-12 by the final score. So you never say never in baseball.
Not impossible, but a tall task starting with 2 outs. This is Bobby Scott. Taking up and in ball 1. Scott is 0 for 3. A 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 7th for Victoria. A home run, a double, and a single has made the score 10-3. Missing inside ball 2. Now with 3 runs on 8 hits for Victoria. 2-0 is grounded softly, charging at second base. The flip, and it's not handled, so no flip. Chris Keating has trouble with that ground ball to second base. The E4 will extend the ball game again. First and second, 2 out, and the hitter will be Kevin Byro. Kevin Byro, 1 for 2 with a walk. 4 straight have reached with 2 outs. Missing outside ball 1. Victoria was not out of this ball game, really you could say, until the 5th inning when they stranded the bases loaded, and then New Brunswick responded with a 4 spot. Pitch will miss. Byro ahead in the count. If Victoria capitalizes in that 5th inning, maybe this rally means a little bit more. Swing and a miss. Byro not happy with himself on that swing on the pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sean Reed still on the mound for New Brunswick. Two and 1. Hit well into left center field. That will get down for Byro. Cut off in center but misplayed. One will score. Trail runner held. It's an RBI double for Kevin Byro. And it's 10-4.
Mavericks inching closer. And really at this point, I think for them just trying to get back within slam range, down by 4 runs. They're 2 runs away from getting there. And
now a mound visit for Sean Reed, who's having difficulty shutting down this 7th inning. 5 straight have reached base, a home run, a double, single, an E4, and another double. 3 runs have scored for Victoria, who now trail 10-4.
And before this 7th inning, Sean Reed had been very good in relief of starter Shane Kramer for New Brunswick, but unraveling a little bit, perhaps the big lead could have forced Reed to lose focus on the mound, but needs to gather it back in. Just 1 more out needed to get New Brunswick out of this ball game with a win.
First pitch is ball 1 to Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy, a Victoria product who played 1 professional season with the Victoria Royals of the old Canadian Baseball League. 1-0 pitch is hit into center field, high, not deep. Stepping up for the final out is Corey Wood, and that's the ball game. Final score 10-4 New Brunswick tops the host Victoria Mavericks in the feature game of day 1 of Nationals. So that is day 1. 4 games here on Go Live broadcasts in the books. We will be back with you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. as the team from British Columbia faces Nova Scotia in the 9 a.m. game. We have 9, 12, 3, and 7 again tomorrow. For Victoria, they're in action at noon at RAP here on Go Live Broadcast, and New Brunswick, they play at 6 at Lambert Park on the webcast against Ontario 1. Many thanks for joining us today, whether you've been on it just for tonight or all day long with us. Final score tonight, 10-4 New Brunswick over Victoria. Mike, always a pleasure working with you. Thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Thanks as always, John, and it's been a long day of baseball, but a good day. We'll do it again tomorrow.
This is Jonathan Hodson for my partner Mike Edwards and for our producer Chris Jaycox in the truck. Thanks for watching.